all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and thanks for listening in. This is the daily morning update from Bloomberg Quint and I'm Alex Matthew. Here's everything that you need to know to stay ahead of the curve this Tuesday morning. Let's start with the latest on the GST compensation issue that's been dragging for a few weeks now. The GST Council failed to reach a consensus over the issue of how states will be compensated for their GST shortfall, even after discussing the issue at length for the third consecutive meeting. But at the end of the council meeting, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that she would be willing to engage with the states that have indicated their preference to borrow 1.1 lakh crore rupees from a special window facilitated by the RBI. She said that just because a unanimous decision is not reached, it should not hold back states who are ready to borrow and are in need of money. That leaves the states that have not yet agreed to either of the options provided by the government in a bit of a tight spot. We'll bring you updates on the final outcome as and when it is reached. Now, there's news on the economic front, and perhaps this latest data explains why the Monetary Policy Committee on Friday decided on a status quo on interest rates. Retail inflation jumped to its highest in 8 months in September on the back of rising food prices. CPI inflation stood at 7.34% last month, compared with 6.69% in August. Remember, the RBI's Monetary Policy Committee is mandated to maintain retail inflation in a band of 4% plus or minus 2%. Core inflation, which excludes food and fuel, moderated marginally to 5.36% from 5.44% in August. Inflation in the food and beverages category, which is contributing to the bulk of the rise in prices, stood at 9.73% during the month. Meanwhile, India's industrial output has contracted for the 6th straight month in August, with mining and manufacturing witnessing a sharp fall in output. The index of industrial production contracted 8% during the month, compared with a 10.77% fall in July. A Bloomberg poll forecast a contraction of 7.8% in industrial output in August. In the telecom space, Reliance Jio has become the first mobile service provider to cross the 40 crore customer mark in India, with a net addition of over 35 lakh subscribers in July, according to data released by the telecom regulator TRAI yesterday. The overall telecom subscriber base increased marginally to 116.4 crore in July from 116 crore in June. In other news, 4 Hindi film industry associations and 34 producers have approached the Delhi High Court against English news channels Republic TV and Times Now, among others, and their key anchors Arnab Goswami and Navika Kumar, to restrain them from conducting a smear campaign, in their words, against the film industry while reporting on the death of actor Sushant Singh Rajput. In international markets, take a look at the oil prices this morning. They dropped the most in a week overnight, with Gulf of Mexico production set to resume and Libya reopening its biggest field. Futures in New York abruptly fell as much as 3.8% towards $39 a barrel, falling to the lowest in a week and breaching its 100-day moving average in a sign that there's further selling pressure ahead. Global benchmark Brent futures traded below both the 100 and 200-day moving averages. As of this morning, Brent futures were trading at $41.76 to the barrel. In international equities, US stocks climbed, with the Nasdaq posting its biggest single-day gain since April, led by some of the biggest tech companies. The index ended higher by 2.6%, while the S&P 500 and the Dow rose 1.6% and 0.9% respectively. Stocks in the Asia-Pacific region have started mixed though, with 2 of the 3 early risers in the red. And with that, it's over to Hormuz Fatakia for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Hormuz. How are we looking today?
Good morning to you, Alex, and to our listeners too. Well, amidst the sweltering heat due to the power cut yesterday, most of you would have overlooked the fact that the Sensex and the Nifty, although flat, ended higher for the 8th straight day, the most in over 2.5 years. And let's start off with specific stocks for today. Cipla's IV Trambol drug has faced a setback. Now, the company's arm, Avenue Therapeutics, has received a complete response letter from the US FDA, which states that the application cannot be approved in its present form. Now, the drug, which is intended to treat patients in acute pain, is not safe for the intended patient population, according to the drug regulator. It's a day of rights issues, buybacks, and QIPs, and I'll update you on all of them. Let's start with the QIP bit first. SRF has launched a QIP on Monday, for which it secured an approval from the board in August. The floor price of 4,168 rupees a share is a 4.5% discount to Monday's closing price. The stock gained for the 4th straight day on Monday and closed within touching distance of its record high. On to buyback updates now. Wipro's 2-day board meeting concludes today. The board will be considering a proposal for its share buyback as well as its quarterly results, making it the second Nifty company after TCS to do so. Also considering a share buyback will be Rane Brake Linings. The company will consider this proposal on Thursday, which is the 15th of October. And Deepak Fertilizers has informed the exchanges that the rights issue, which it had announced last month, has been fully subscribed. Vivimed Labs has received an approval for 2 ophthalmic products and 2 oral liquid suspension products. The company said that it is expecting 5 more approvals in the ophthalmic and oral solids business in the December quarter. So keep an eye out on that stock. On to fundraising now, and Lakshmi Vilas Bank has said that it will consider a rights issue on the 15th of October. On the other hand, JSW Steel has approved issuance of dollar-denominated notes to the tune of $500 million. Aster DM Healthcare has announced that its subsidiary, Dr. Moopen Healthcare Management Services, has completed the acquisition of 100% stake in Sanad Al Rama Medical Care Company by acquiring the remaining 3% stake on Monday. The subsidiary previously held 97% stake in the company. Reacting to its earnings today will be Shalby. While profit was nearly double year-on-year due to a tax reversal, lower operating costs and higher occupancy aided the company's operational performance. Some of the companies which will be announcing results today include Karnataka Bank, Tata Steel Long Products, and California Software. On to some stocks that I would like to highlight. Actually, I'll start off with a couple of sectors first up. Midcap IT has been on a tear in the recent past. Coforge, Mindtree, and L&T Infotech all ended at a record high on Monday with gains of 8%, 4% and 11% respectively. In fact, Mindtree was up for the 6th straight day. Watch out for cement stocks in today's session. Jefferies has upgraded Ultratech to buy from hold and has raised its price target to 5,150 rupees from the earlier 4,350 rupees. It has also upgraded Ramco Cements to a buy and raised its price target to 900 rupees from the earlier 625. And lastly, watch for Aarti Drugs, which after a record rally ended 10% lower on Monday. Early ticks on the SGX Nifty indicate that the index is trading 15 to 20 points lower around the mark of 11,950. Do log into BloombergQuint.com and read our All You Need to Know copy, your one-stop shop to keep you abreast ahead of the day's trade. With that, I wish you a safe day ahead, and it's back to you, Alex.
Thanks, Hormuz. Well, that's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website BloombergQuint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Pesa Vesa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.